Welcome to the Pursuit of Excellence, the official voice of the Douglas County School System. On Pursuit of Excellence, we are committed to bringing you news, information, and resources about the Douglas County School System. I am your host, Portia Lake, Douglas County School System's Director of Public Information, and today we are sharing information about the Douglas County High School's International Baccalaureate Program. And today we are joined by Principal Kenya Parks and IB Coordinator Robert Bennett. Welcome both of you to the program.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to have you here today. And I'm going to let Principal Kenya Parks, she's going to welcome us to the show, and she is going to introduce us to our IB Coordinator at Douglas County High School.
Well, good morning. My name is Kenya Parks. I am the second-year principal at Douglas County High School, and I'm very proud to introduce my community to Mr. Robert Bennett. He has been a teacher at Douglas County High School for about 10 years in the science department. He has been the science department chair. He's been the swim team coach, and now he is in his first year as the IB coordinator.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to share our program with the community and get this information out to all of the excited 8th graders who are going to be joining us next year.
Okay. And Principal Parks, why don't you first give us a general overview about what the IB program is?
The International Baccalaureate Program is a special program for an ideal student who is caring, compassionate, anchored in the community service lens, someone who naturally is curious. They're thinkers, and they are here to make a difference in the world.
Okay. And Mr. Bennett, why don't you tell us how it prepares students for success in the future?
So the IB Diploma Program that we offer at Douglas County High School is a internationally standardized program it's a curriculum, but it's also approaches to teaching, approaches to learning. We help students to learn how to be better academics, how to be better scholars, and how to be better members of the international and global community. Our goal is not just to get kids into college. Our goal is to make students successful when they are in college and beyond. And so the skills that they're picking up in the program, yes, what you've heard is right. It is difficult. It is rigorous. It is hard. But that challenge, that struggle helps our students to develop what they need to face future struggles and challenges in their lives.
And why do many students choose the IB program? It's a very challenging program. So why are students choosing and electing to go the IB route?
So the IB program, because of the skills they're learning in class, it gets them not just into the difficult colleges, the really, really high-level colleges like your Harvards, your Yales, your Browns, Pomona, those colleges. They're successful once they're there. So our retention rate, our first-year retention rate in colleges is higher than the national average. So when kids get to college, they're being successful. They are being top students once they're there, and they're talking about it to their community members. They're talking about it to their brothers and sisters, and so the word has gotten out that IB doesn't just get you there, it makes you successful and makes you a happier college student.
Okay. And Principal Parks, maybe you, before you even came to Douglas County High School, you had heard about the reputation that the IB program at Douglas County had. Why don't you talk a little bit about the reputation of the IB program?
The reputation of the IB program at Douglas County High School has spanned for many, many counties wide. We know because it's the only program in Douglas County, it is special. Kids who are able to matriculate through the program and receive the IB diploma are, as Mr. Bennett has already said, they're poised for success. They have learned how to learn. They know how to study. And so we recognize, and at least all I've ever heard, is that they have the best teachers, the best resources, the students who are ready to compete globally. And so they're anchored in with that community service and that international mindedness, which makes them really just neat to watch as they transcend to the next level.
And why do you say even the students who may not, Mr. Bennett, even the students who may not have been considering IB, why do you think they may need to take a second look at the IB program?
So we do have, because of our reputation of excellence, of students being extremely successful at top-tier universities, sometimes students think that if they don't want to go to Harvard or they don't want to go to Yale, that they shouldn't do the IB program, that the work is not worth it for them. We send a lot of students to the University of Georgia, to Georgia Tech, to Emory, to Georgia State. These local universities are fantastic for many of our students. I'm a graduate of University of Georgia. I'm currently studying at Georgia State. These are fantastic institutions of higher learning. And even if you're not shooting for Yale and Princeton, the skills you learn in IB can still be very, very useful for success locally.
And let's talk about, some of the components of the program. What can a student expect from that program, from the IB program?
So our diploma program it really actually starts in 11th grade. So it's a 2-year program, 11th to 12th. And students take 7 courses, 1 in each of the core subject areas, plus foreign language, and plus a 6th subject, which is kind of like an IB elective. And then there is a theory of knowledge class that they take. So all 7 of those courses are 2-year courses of study. And then students are tested in those 7 courses for college credit and for earning the IB diploma. Now, in 9th grade, which is really what we're kind of thinking about as 8th graders now, in 9th grade, we start our magnet preparatory IB program, which is designed to get kids ready for the diploma program in 11th grade. So our students are taking many of the same classes that our honors students take at Douglas County. They take biology as 9th graders, just like everybody else. They take history class and literature class, 9th grade lit. But the teachers in those classes are using the IB learner profile characteristics to develop our students, and they're using our IB approaches to teaching and the IB approaches to learning to prepare kids for the 11th grade and the diploma program.
And Principal Parks, you've mentioned, and I know you know how exceptional your instructors are in the IB program, not only in the IB program, but at Douglas County High School. Why don't we talk about how exceptional those instructors are and why they choose to stay with Douglas County High School?
Well, the IB Diploma Program at Douglas County High School is very unique. It's special. And the teachers who are teaching in that department believe in the same mission that the organization has itself, which simply means that we're looking for caring, compassionate professors, teachers, leaders who can help shape the minds of these natural kids who are just curious about the world in which they live. And they want to use these tenets to help make the world better. And so the educators who are working in that program also study abroad. We have teachers who will be studying. We have one who will be in the Netherlands in December, helping to design the curriculum. This will be the 3rd year that he's had the opportunity to do it. And so we believe that gives us a rich opportunity to provide our students with that international curriculum that we help to plan and design right at our local high school. So that's pretty amazing.
And this question is for both of you. I know I've seen the IB students out in the community doing exceptional things, amazing things. How does having the IB program in our Douglas County school system, how does this also serve our school system and our community?
So one of the requirements of the IB program, in order to get the diploma as a senior, students have to participate in what we call CAS, creativity, activity, and service. It's like I said, a requirement for 18 months. Students are participating in activities that show their creativity, that show their activity, and that's actually like getting their blood up and being active, and then providing service. We use this as a way for students to feel connected to the community and for the community to benefit from our students. And it's kind of selfish for us, but we love to farm our students out for, hey, we've got a thing coming up at the county office this weekend. They need some volunteers, and the students, they jump on that. When there's a church program is putting on a fall festival, or there's a local school that needs volunteers for a Spanish Day activities, our IB students are all over that. And so they go out into the community, they make themselves visible, and I think that it's a really big benefit of the IB education.
And before we talk about how the program is indeed international, Principal Parks, why don't you talk about what Douglas County High School is like, the family-like atmosphere, and what a rich tradition Douglas County High School is in our neighborhood and within our school system.
Well, as you know, Douglas County High School is the oldest high school in Douglas County, but it is the only high school in the city of Douglasville. It opened its doors in 1937, so we've got years and years, decades-long traditions. We always like to say, once a tiger, always a tiger. And so the alumni who have walked the hallways of Douglas County love to come back and keep sharing some of the wonderful things that they used to do. And so we've continued that legacy of greatness and excellence. The IB program is no different from that. Founded in 2006, we've been able to keep things going. And because of that community-mindedness of the program, we're opening more opportunities for the community to share in what we do at Douglas County. So our first event this fall was an IB tailgate event. We just were able to have games and fun and food for our parents, community members, and our students to come out in the middle of exam week to decompress and to have fun watching a football game. We've had an IB picnic already. Our IB kids are a part of almost every single club at the school. We probably have the more clubs than any other high school in Douglas County because of the desire for our IB kids to solve a problem. They see a problem and their goal is to figure out, using their critical thinking skills, how to solve it. So they can see a problem and say, we need to create a club that does this. So with that in mind, we have a film club. And we opened up last Friday and had our first horror movie Halloween night, and we had a Halloween costume, and that was all done by the IB students. And we got more planned leading up into Christmas. So I think what makes it special and rich is the students, their opportunities to be heard, their voice, their energy, their actions are so special, and it makes the school better because they're there, and it makes the community more proud of their work.
I love it. Okay. And Mr. Bennett, Principal Parks has already talked about the rich history of Douglas County High School. Why don't we have you address the internationalness of the program?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to circle back to an earlier question as I begin to answer that question. And I'd like to brag a little bit about my colleagues in the IB program. You know, we have three of our teachers are currently working on doctorate degrees at universities around the country. We have several others that are working on specialist degrees, gifted endorsements. As Ms. Parks said earlier, one of our instructors in history, Mr. Cunningham, has actually been recruited by IBO, the IB organization in The Hague, Netherlands, to help develop the program. Mr. Adams is a grader for our design technology class. So he gets that insight into how the students are assessed, so we can really take that back and help to coach our students towards success on exams. Our teachers are involved in, just like our students, they're involved in every aspect of our school. Many of the clubs and sports teams that our students participate in are run by our fantastic IB instructors. And I just wanted to brag on them a little bit because they really are the backbone of our program from year to year. Now, what that does for us, because we have teachers that are able to work like that and to see the bigger picture and understand that it's more than just teaching their class within the four walls of their classroom, they're able to take their own experiences from international study, from advanced degrees, from coaching, from running programs. They are able to take those experiences and help students to understand one of the key tenets of IB, that even though you may disagree with people, they can still be right, even though they have a different opinion than you. And that helps to build the entire international mindedness of our program. Now, when you want to actually get outside of the United States, we do have teachers that take students internationally every single year to work on their Spanish and French skills in France, in Costa Rica, in Spain. We have teachers that take students to the UK to learn about long history and culture in that country. We have teachers that themselves just love to travel. You know, you don't have to take students with you to be able to bring back an international focus. And so our teachers are constantly trying to tie that into their classes so that students, when they're learning about, say, ecosystems in biology class, it's not just about what's happening to me right now in my ecosystem, but how the impacts of our decisions in Georgia can affect global ecosystems and can affect other populations of people everywhere. So international mindedness is just one of those things that is everywhere in our program, every class, every teacher. thinking just outside of the walls of that classroom.
And where do you see the program going within the next 10 years?
Ooh, yeah. So we have, as with everything, COVID has been tricky for the IB program, and let's be honest, it's been hard the last few years, and we've shrunken some. We had students that didn't apply for the program because of COVID, and that rigor is really tough to maintain when you're not able to travel. We had international trips. I'm one of the folks that takes kids on international trips, and I had a trip to Costa Rica that was postponed twice, 2 years during COVID, and it's hard to maintain the rigor when you're not having the outlets, when you don't have the extra. But now, since we're coming out of COVID, we are building back. We're building that program back, as Ms. Park said, introducing the IB tailgate, IB picnics. That's giving kids the opportunity to have more than just difficult classes when they come to Douglas County. Now, bigger picture, 5-10 years down the road, I would love to see our county expand IB outside of Douglas County High School, because the diploma program that we offer is only one of 4 programs that the International Baccalaureate offers along the IB continuum. There's the IB PYP, the primary years programs for primary schools. There's the middle years program, which is actually for 9th and 10th graders. And then there's actually a career-related program as well for high school. And so I'd love to see IB develop a little bit further in our community, and even more so in Douglas County High School, to increase our enrollment and to increase access to an IB education for more students, because IB is not just for the elite students who are going to Harvard and Yale. As I said earlier, IB is for everyone, and everyone should be able to benefit from the approaches to teaching, the approaches to learning, and the IB learner profile characteristics to develop our community. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and of course now everybody wants to know, they've heard all the wonderful things about this program. Now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. Who can apply? And let's start talking about these deadlines. Principal Parks, who is eligible for the program?
Well, the IB program is for all 8th grade students who are interested, students who are very, they're hard workers. They are community-minded. They are naturally curious. They understand rigor. They understand community, and they are critical thinkers. So anyone who fits that learner profile ideally is well suited for the IB program.
Or really, to add to that, or any student who wants to develop those character traits.
Yes.
Yeah, and they understand that hard work in developing those traits will be useful for them in being successful later in life.
And over the years, Mr. Bennett, who have you seen has been the best fit for the program?
We've had, we love to advertise the students who get into Harvard, the students who get a full ride to Duke, and those students are really successful in our program, right? The kids that are naturally brilliant, the students that already have the ability to take notes and understand things very well in 3rd grade, those kids are great. But we've also had students be extremely successful in our program just because they want to grow as learners, that they want to grow as people. Those students can be really successful in our program, and a lot of the students that I remember the most from teaching are the ones that had to work at it, the ones that didn't get it naturally, that weren't naturally brilliant necessarily, but were excited and eager to ask questions and grow as scholars. Those students are extremely successful in our program.
Okay. And we have some important deadlines and some dates that students and parents need to be aware of. What does the application process involve?
So the applications are due on December the 12th, and so on the county website there is a link. It's the same link for all of the magnet programs, but you just select the Douglas County High School International Baccalaureate program as a checkbox. Once we get that application in, we will send to students a step 2. It's got a little writing sample in there and a little bit more information to collect from the students. And then from there, on January the 7th of 2023, we will be hosting interviews. That's a Saturday at our school. And for students that can't make it on Saturdays, if they observe the Sabbath or have other things that are coming up, we do have an alternate date later in the next week for interviews.
Okay. And again, all this information is on the Douglas County School System website, and you'll also be able to find this information in the show notes section of our on the podcast, and you'll also find it on our YouTube in the information section on the YouTube section. And of course, we're going to close out the show with Principal Kenya Parks, who is going to tell us why we should choose Douglas County High School's International Baccalaureate program.
Students should choose Douglas County's International Baccalaureate Diploma Program because it gives kids a rich cultural experience like no other, and it prepares them for the world beyond high school, and also will grant them some college credits already going in. So it's a wonderful place to study, to learn, and grow.
And IB coordinator and diploma coordinator Robert Bennett, why don't you close out the show by you telling us why you think that students should choose Douglas County High School's IB program?
Just to echo what Ms. Parks said, students that are in the IB program, even if they don't earn the IB diploma they are still spending 4 years learning about how to be inquirers, how to be knowledgeable, how to be thinkers and communicators, and how to be principled and open-minded, caring risk takers, balanced and reflective practitioners. Those characteristics, those learning style traits, they will help them throughout their lives. So the diploma program is not just about passing classes. It's about growing, being a better person. I think that's a real goal for all of our students.
All right, thank you so much. Again, we had Principal Kenya Parks and IB Coordinator Robert Bennett from Douglas County High School. Thank you so much for tuning in to Pursuit of Excellence, the official voice of the Douglas County School System. I have been your host, Portia Lake. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, remember, if you need more information about the Douglas County School System, you can always tune in to our podcast, or you can go to our website, www.dcssga.org. Thank you so much for joining us.